All right, so today we're going to edit this photo of a sunset with a silhouette of trees. Now, this is probably more of this is definitely going to be an artistic edit. You will probably have something similar to this if you have photos where you're photographing sunsets and you are getting these silhouettes, maybe a silhouette of a person or something of that sort. This time we're looking at a tree line and some light posts. So let's see what we can get. First thing I want to do is crop this image. So we're going to go ahead and hit crop, and I'm going to keep the original aspect ratio, but you can keep your ratio to whatever you want. I don't want the bottom half of this photo because, as you can see, there is a car and there's house lights and things of that sort. I took this on a street. So, there's some lights. Now, if you actually wanted to keep all of that information, I'll show you real quick how you can do so. All right. So what we're going to do is go to our local adjustment, and you would think that you just bring the exposure all the way down. Once it does it, all right, you think it would just be as simple as that. And that could work if that's what you want to do, but I don't recommend doing it that way. So instead, what I would do is I would come down here, use paint with color, and then choose a color. And the color that I'm going to choose is black. So now I am covering this area with 100% black pixels. And I know that I have a true silhouette of the area. This could be good for a postcard. You could put all kinds of text down here at the bottom, right? And now I'm going to go back to my crop because I don't really care to have the bottom. Didn't mean to go freeform. I want original ratio, and we'll just pull this in. So what I'm looking to do is put this bush over here on the left third somewhere. This can be in the center, and then have this interest here. I want open space over here. So, but I want to leave enough context that this light pole, it's not like that, right? So I'm keeping this light pole in. Now, that is a subjective thing. That's just how I like to edit my photos. You can choose to edit your photos however you want. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is come over here to the effects module. Now, I personally chose not to edit anything in the develop module. Actually, I take that back. I want to get rid of some of this noise to clean up the image just a touch. So I'm going to come down here to the no noise AI, and I'm just going to run that real quick and let this kind of clean up some of the noise. I shot this at 1600 ISO. It's a nighttime photo, so it's okay if there's noise in the image, but I wanted to clean it up, or I want to clean it up. And whatever cleaning it does is fine. It doesn't have to be the most precise, right? I just want it to be a little bit cleaner palette, because we're going to enhance these oranges and we're going to enhance this sky as well. So the first way that I like to enhance this area is I'm going to go to add a filter, and I could do it with a bleach bypass. All right. And some of you are probably like, whoa, why would you do that? Well, I'll show you. I can bring the amount up. I can brighten this area as well. And then what I'm going to do is click in here, use my eyedropper tool, and select an area that is probably, what I want to enhance. And then all I'm going to do is pull up on the amount, and look at how it brings it all throughout this image. This is one of the reasons why I want to use this. Now I'm going to crank up on the saturation just a little bit, and I think I want this color to be a little bit brighter. So I'm going to bring up my brightness, and as you can see, it's affecting the hue. I really enjoy working with the color wheel and making the colors what I want them to be. All right. So this is the before. Just looking at the orange, don't worry about so much up here. And here is the after effect. Now, Like I said, I only care about getting this into the orange, so you probably already guessed it. I am going to throw on a mask. Now, I want linear top because I want to preserve the top, so I'm just going to click right here. This preserves the top. No effect or none of this effect is up here at the top. It's all down here at the bottom. So now I'm just going to pull this to make it a little bit tighter because I'm okay with a very fast transition and I can always fade it some other way later. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another filter, and this time I'm going to add a photo filter. Now I really enjoy using the photo filter and I'm actually going to leave it at the default color because I'm enhancing the blue up here. If you look at the top of the image, you see how it's kind of this dull blue. Well, when I check this, it becomes this more vibrant blue. All right. So what I'm going to do is crank up the amount because I like the transition that I'm getting. And I need to make this actually transition now. So what I'm going to do is click on linear bottom because I want to preserve the bottom of my image. Click here. And now I get my orange back and there's this blue. Now I want to fade this a little bit better. So I'm going to bring this probably to right about the top of this little branch here. And that looks like a good fade to me. Now, you can mess around with polarizing it. I think that makes it too dark, and I don't want to make it darker. I just want to enhance it. So I may saturate it a little bit more and throw in some more blue in the amount. And I'm okay if it looks a little fake. The goal here is really just to build this this nice sunset looking image with a silhouette. And I'll make that a little bit smaller. So now this transitions fairly well. All right. So the last thing that I'm going to do is add a glow. Now I like adding a glow to images like this where I am managing some of the color information because you see how it just like richens everything up. To me, this is a really, really cool effect. Now, the problem is I don't want it all down here, right? Only bright things glow. And really, I only want it in this color range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my mask, use the color range tool, grab my eyedropper, and I'm going to drop it on the silhouetted area. Now, right now, this is applying this to pretty much everything that is darker. Well, I don't want it to apply to everything that is darker. So I'm going to pull this until I am only getting it in the area. And when I say pull this, I mean pull the color range lever down, right? All the way until it is only selecting the dark image, the darker portions of my image, which are down at the bottom. All right. So right now I am only adding the glow into this area and I can pull, wrong lever, pull back up on this just a little bit. And I can always paint that out too. So I'm not going to worry about it, but we're going to go ahead and hit O. I'm going to invert this and you're going to see instantly that color goes, or that adjustment of the glow goes right back into the sky area. Now, this does darken it just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is click on Add Filter, and I'm going to go to Tone Enhancer. I'm just going to increase the exposure ever so slightly. And as you can see, it brings back that brightness into the image. Well, I don't want it all over the image yet again, so I'm going to do the same thing. Color range, take my eyedropper, click down here, bring my range down until it's only applying in the area that I don't want it, hit invert, and now I am applying this brightness to just the top portion of my image. And that going from this as the original image, a little bit of dull colors, and then finally ending on something like this where it's not as dull, it's a little bit more punchy, the colors glow, there's a level of cohesion, and I could have taken this edit in many different directions, but what I wanted to really show is using some filters and masks, you can get a completely different look than what your original image was. And I think everyone kind of understands that. But sometimes based on what your end result is, which for me is just to enhance the colors, you can really only focus on that and leave everything else alone. This was a perfect image to show that. Hopefully this was value added to those of you who watched. If you liked it, smash the like button. And if you want to see more content, check the screen right here. Until the next time, I want you guys to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.